Hi modern fashion designers, welcome back to class. This is Modern Woman Apparel. I want to specially thank all my subscribers, and if this is your first time seeing us, you're highly welcome. Please join us by clicking on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so as to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you. So guys, in today's class we are going to be doing the part 2 of this class. So in the part 1 of this class, we learned how to draft a bustier with yoke, how to do your correct underbust and overbust tightening. And for the yoke, we also learned how to tighten and blend the yoke. And this is the back part. We also learned how to properly draft the back part and how to get different style lines for the back yoke. The link to the part 1 of this class is on the comment section, so feel free to check it out. So in this part 2, we are going to be transferring this pattern here to fabric with all the necessary seam allowances. We are also going to learn how to properly cut this yoke. Now after that, we'll learn how to pad and sew our bustier part and how to attach the yoke to the bustier. As you can see, this is a half cape pattern, which means you can either use this for your blouse or you use it for your skirt. So for your blouse, you can decide to add peplum to the down part of it and it will become your blouse. And if you want to use this for a gown, all you need to do is just to attach your skirt pattern to the down part. So I already have a detailed tutorial on how you can cut a fitted pencil skirt, an updated fitted pencil skirt. I'll drop the link on the comment section so that you can check it out. So for this, I'm actually using this to make a blouse. So in this class, you'll also be learning how to cut a 720 degrees peplum and how to attach crinoline to your peplum. So guys, without wasting much of our time, let's get right into the tutorial of the day. For this class, I'll be making use of my main fabric lining. And for the yoke, note that you can also use an illusion net, but I'll be making use of this chantilly lace here for my yoke. You also need your interfacing, so I'll be making use of this interfacing. I already have a truckload of it, or you can make use of your paper stay. Now you will also be needing your wadding, or you can make use of a breast pad. So next thing we are going to do now is to transfer these patterns to fabric and add all our necessary seam allowances. So guys, you can see for the front, I've gone ahead to transfer the patterns to the fabric. So for this front here, for the center front, you're cutting it on fold. So this is on fold, as you can see. And I added ½ inch at the top, by the side, and on the down part. So this ½ inch here is to join the two front parts together. I hope you understand. So this is to join this with the yoke. And this is to join this to the down part. So to your skirt or to your peplum, whatever you're making with this. Now on this other part here, you can also see the ½ inch here, ½ inch here, ½ inch by this side for the sleeve, ½ inch on the down part, and I added 3 inches to this side. So whatever, you can decide to work with 1, 2, 3, depends on how much seam allowance you normally make use of. So this is also for the back here. This is my zipper allowance. I already have the zipper allowance here, so I added ½ inch to the top here, ½ inch here, and I added 2½ inches to my side. So I normally add more on the front than on the back. Now one thing I want you to note is for the yoke, please pay attention to this yoke side. The first step of getting your yoke right is to know how to cut it correctly. Now look at what I did here. As you can see, there's no sharp point here. So I didn't take because I have a sharp point here and made my yoke sharp. As you can see, I came down from here by ½ inch, also followed this part by ½ inch and connected. So it must be in a block form, please, not in a sharp form. You can also see this side is in a block form. So I traced what I have here by the center, went out by ½ came down here by ½ and went up here by ½ and connected it. Please make sure you do yours in a block form, not in a sharp form. Also on this side, as you can see, it's also in a block form. I hope you can see this. So it's also in a block form. Trace what you have done here by ½, come down by ½ and go up by ½ and connect all together. So note that you're cutting this front part on fold and you're cutting 2 of the sides. So this one you're cutting 2 of it, and for the yoke you're cutting it on fold. Now for the back part, you're also cutting 2 of these, and for the yoke, you're also cutting 2 of it. And remember the mark we made here where we said our yoke will start. So notch that part. You can see that I've already notched it where my yoke will start on the upper part. So what I'll do next is to use this fabric I have cut out to cut the lining and the interfacing. And after that, I will iron the interfacing and my wording to the front part. And I will show you what we have. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to iron my interfacing. So I used hair stay for the main fabric, and for the lining I used paper stay. Now you can see my wording. I've already gone ahead to cut the wording, and I've also infused it on my main fabric. You can see I left ½ an inch on the upper part here, and on this part here I stopped on the underbust line. So if you're making use of a fabric that is transparent, that is very light, on the center part here, please extend it to the waistline here. So for the side, you can see what I have here. I also came down here by ½ inch, and I also didn't let this to get to the seam allowance I have by the side. So on this part, what I did is, after my joining allowance, the ½ inch for my joining allowance, I divided my bust span measurement into 2. So I'm working with a bust span measurement of 8 inches divided by 2 is 4, and I added 1 inch to it, which is 5, because I'm working for a busty size. You understand? But if you're making for a smaller size, you can add ½ inch. When you divide your bust span measurement by 2, you add ½ inch to it. So guys, after this, what we are going to do next now is to start joining all these parts together. So to do this, as you can see, I've also gone ahead to notch my underbust. This is very, very important. So please, while you transfer your patterns to fabric, make sure you notch your underbust. Please, it's very important. So to join this, I'm going to pick the front part and one of the side, and make sure I match the underbust together here. What I will do is to take it to my sewing machine and stitch. After that, I will also join this part to the other part here. Make sure the underbust notches are matching up, very important, and I will stitch. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch this. So I want you to note something. Please, it's better if you know you cannot trace this by your ½ an inch. It's better you use a chalk to mark out your ½ an inch first before ruling. The goal is for us to get a nice finishing. So after this, what I will do now is to flip this to the right side. Notch the underbust, as you can see. You notch the underbust. Then I'll bring in my tailor's arm. So this is the one I made for myself. This is for improvisation. So you can also use this if you do not have the main one. What I did is to use the pieces I cut out from my fabric and wrap them together like a ball. Use my paper tape to cover the whole thing. So what I'll do now is to place it underneath this part like this. Then use my steam iron to press open the seam lines. So this is my lining fabric. The same way you joined your main fabric, you also join your lining fabric as well. And after that, you still press open the seam lines. Please do not forget to notch your underbust. After ironing, you can see what we have. So you press down you open press the seam lines and also press the upper part here, the right part. You can also see a lining fabric well ironed. So what we are going to do now is to attach the yoke to those bustier parts. This is the front yoke. So before I remove this pattern here, what I will do is to notch this center front here. So I'll make a notch here. But before I attach this yoke to the bustier part, what I will do is to use my bias tape and tidy the neckline. So this is also for the back. What I will do is to also use my bias tape to tidy this part, the back opening here, this part here, and the neckline. So guys, you can see what we have. This is the back yoke. You can see how beautiful it is. And this is the front yoke. So now we are going to attach the front yoke to this bustier part. So first, the yoke and the main fabric right side facing each other. This is my center front, and I've also notched the center front of my yoke. So what I will do now is to place it this way, center front meeting center front, and I'll come out a little like this. You can see I'll pin it down on the center. So I'll move it to either the left or the right side this way and pin. You can see what I'm doing. So I'll keep moving it and pin as I move. When I get to the edge of it, which is the armhole side, what I will do is to take the yoke up by ½ inch. As you can see, please don't put it this way. Don't put it this way. Please go up by ½ inch and pin. So we'll sew this side and we'll come back to the other side. After stitching this side, what we are going to do to this side is to move this to this part this way, push this in here and move this to this part and pin. So you continue pinning as you go. And when you get here, remember you go up by ½ inch and pin, and from there you stitch to this other part. After stitching, you can see what we have looking so beautiful. Next is for us to attach the lining to it. So we are going to move this to this part like this and lay the fabric and the lining right side facing each other like this. Match the center front to the center front here, and we are going to stitch. After stitching, you also stitch this side and this other side. Leave the armhole, please. So after joining, this is what I have. As you can see, I went ahead to give tiny notches, and I've also trimmed the excess seam allowance I have here. I'll not be top stitching. I'll not be moving this to this part to top stitch because I'll be using my hemming gum to press it flat. I hope you understand. So what I'm going to do now is to also attach this part here and this part. After that, I'll give it a good press. So for the back yoke, what I'm going to do is to bring the back part here. This is where the yoke will start. Remember, we made a notch there. So I will lay it right side facing each other like this. Make sure the beginning of this yoke is directly on the notched part. Then I'll bring the lining here. I also have a notched part on the lining, so I'll match it up this way, pin it down here, then take it to my sewing machine and sew with ½ inch from this part here to the upper part and to this other part. I will also do same thing to the other side. After that, you turn it over and give it a good press. So I also want you to note that when you get to the armhole side, you go up by ½ inch, just like we did to the front armhole. So you can see this. So go up by ½ inch like this. So guys, you can see what we have here looking so beautiful already. This is the front, and can see the back part. Now what I'm going to do is to lay the front and the back part right side facing each other like this. And stitch the shoulder. After stitching the shoulder, what I'll do is to shape the sides. At this point, if you are using this for a gown, all you need to do is to attach the down part of your skirt to this. Also attach the down part of the skirt to the back part here. Then you join the shoulder and the sides. I hope you understand. After joining, you can see what I have here. And like I said earlier, I'm using this for a blouse. So what I will do is to attach my peplum to the down part. This is the peplum I'll be making use of. This is a 2-step 720 degrees peplum. I already have a detailed tutorial on how you can calculate, cut and sew a 720 degrees peplum with crinoline. The link to the tutorial is on the comment section. Now what I will do is to attach this peplum here to the down part of this blouse, attach my zipper and show you what to do next. So guys, you can see what I have after joining my peplum and attaching my zipper. So what I'm going to do next is to fix my button here, fix my sleeve, and show you what we have. Note that you can make use of any sleeve of your choice. So guys, you can see what we have. You can see the beautiful blouse that we have made. Dance with me. Do not forget that we have the skirt pattern on this channel. So I made the skirt using the skirt pattern that we already have on this channel, and we also have a basic sleeve pattern on this channel. You'll find a link to the tutorial on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this blouse as much as I did. Please do not forget to hit on the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. You can follow me on Instagram at modernwoman_apparel and on Facebook at Vivian Chukwuneke. Thank you. I'll see you in my next tutorial. I'm Modern Woman. Bye for now.